Hello, I've just been told I'm now live. Hello, this is Stephen in wonderful Wiltshire. It's a bit of a grey day today, a bit colder than yesterday. In fact, it's about 10 degrees colder than yesterday, so I'm just getting used to it. And I'm just going onto my iPad and to the upcoming broadcasts. And today's broadcast is there. I'm going to preview and go live. So that's working. Good. Now, yesterday, things did not go totally according to plan. So I'm hoping today that things go a little bit easier. Um, we're live today on Facebook. Hello on Facebook. We're live today on YouTube. Hello YouTube. And of course, we're live on Amazon Live and the website. And I'll be with you as soon as this has finished. So the countdown is finished. Everything complete on time. We can start the broadcast. All good. Hello and welcome to this live broadcast from, I'm going to put this logo up because you'll be seeing a lot of this in the coming days. I am broadcasting to Amazon Live using, wait a minute, using Be Live. Okay, and Be Live is the best way to broadcast to Amazon Live, as everybody's about to find out later this week. There's a bit of pivoting taking place, and I want to say thank you to Barry. Barry, hello, and Barry's just liked the broadcast on Facebook, so I know Facebook is working. Yeah, so all is good. After our trials and tribulations yesterday, we're actually working fine today. If you watch, I've got a comment coming through as well, and let's take that off. And our first comment of the day is from Corinda, saying, "Hey, Stephen, Corinda's a good friend in Staines, actually, which is close to Heathrow, which is close to London." And Corinda, hello, thanks for joining me. Corinda is a fellow Amazon Live broadcaster. There are 6 Brits broadcasting on Amazon Live at the moment, and 3 of those use Be Live. So there you are. There's a fact. Now, over to Corinda again. And I'm going to be talking about this later, but Corinda is saying his Samsung S22 Ultra is perfect. It is. It's also probably the best phone that Samsung have ever produced. And we're going to be looking at it. In actual fact, you can see the phone there. That's my Facebook page. And if I go here, just borrowing the phone for a moment, and just need to go back again and go forward again. Just a second. I just need to do a little bit of changes and go here and go here. Be worth it. Okay, if I come back to me, this is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and I'm broadcasting live on Facebook at the moment, and that's it on screen. I'm trying to get it level. I think it's levelish now, and that's the quality of the video that actually plays on Facebook on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which we'll be looking at momentarily. Okay, so I'm going to put that back up there, and if I go, just a minute. Oh, if I go like that, then you should theoretically, there you are, I'm live. Okay, now that's working. I need to make one more alteration, then I'll definitely be with you. I want that to work on 4G. Okay, I want to preserve my Wi-Fi signal for the live broadcast itself. So that is now working on 4G. So that's the reception on 4G. And if I go down and up, you can see how easy it is to actually scroll on that phone. Brilliant phone. And I'm delighted to have it. And go over to Amazon and just refresh the page. Okay, I'm just getting gently into this after yesterday's problems. So bear with me a moment. And I can't see myself. Okay, I need to stop that. Okay, so we're synchronized. We're actually live on Amazon Live as well, although at the moment nobody has found us. I just need to turn the sound down on this, I think, and that would actually complete it. So let me turn the sound down. Click there, and there we have it. All set up. Well, that's set up now. Right, okay. Now, plenty of things to look at today. And if you've got any questions about anything, then please do ask. Just a reminder, this is Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen, that's me. And we're talking about webcams, audio gear, microphones, live video, and Fitbits, my new Fitbit, which we'll get to at some point in this live broadcast. Okay, now, incredibly, I go over here. I'm going to carry on. Okay, so I'm going to bring my camera on screen. Okay, I can remove that card. And there you have my demonstration area on the right hand side. And hopefully, well, it says there that I'm still broadcasting live. So I am broadcasting live. I'm just on edge a little bit today because yesterday didn't go entirely according to plan, hoping things go a little bit better today. But we're going to start off with the camera you're actually looking at now. Let's just go full screen for me. And thank you for watching on Amazon Live. My studio is working sort of. And Corinda, thank you for the comments. If you've got any questions about anything during this live broadcast, then please do ask. You can ask questions about what's in the carousel. You can ask questions about live broadcasting. I've been doing this since before Facebook Live, which incredibly is nearly 7 years ago. So all good. And I'm just looking at the carousel. And the first item I want to talk about, actually, which I've highlighted, one of the things that is a problem with you've got a PC or Mac is there are never enough USB ports on your PC or Mac. Never enough. You can't have enough ports. And earlier this year, I got this, which is down in the carousel, and this is an Anker 4-way USB. And basically, you plug that into your PC, and then you've got 4 USB-A ports you can use, which means you can use additional camera, additional microphone, whatever kit you want to plug into your computer. Now, this is not a powered version. What is, and I'm going to remember what I'm doing this time, so just give me a minute, is if I go here and go, yeah, it's working well, and I go here, I can show you what I'm about to talk about. Well, theoretically I can. I just need to switch that camera off, go off solo, and there you have it. I'm going to go side by side. Down in the carousel at the moment is the Atolla powered USB port, which I've decided to actually improve the way things are. And this has now gone into my archives, and I'm actually using now the piece of equipment that you see there. Now, what makes this equipment rather special is that it has 7 USB-A ports, which means that you can connect 7 different devices to your PC. So, using that today, I have got, and let's just have a look. I have got, here it is. This is it. This is the unit in action. And you can see that I've got 6 items connected at the moment. I left one spare. I'm working out what to use it for. But I've got 3 cameras, 2 microphones, and a light. And I couldn't do that. I've got a Microsoft Surface Book 2, which you can just see the corner of there. And I've only got 2 USB ports on there, 2 USB, so it's not enough. And I wanted to have the 3 cameras. For the first time ever, I've got the Logitech C920X plugged in. I've got the Brio plugged in. I've got the OBSBot Tiny plugged in, the other OBSBot Tiny, and the Logitech Litra Lite and my 2 microphones. And it's just so simple and easy to use. But the thing that makes it stand out is you can plug 7 units in here, but you can control them individually. You can turn them on and off. Okay, so if you don't need a microphone, you don't need a camera, you can just switch it off. You don't have to pull it out of the computer. You can switch it off. You can isolate it. The power just goes. Power is interrupted. The other thing, the 3 red slots at the bottom, they're for charging. So as you can see at the moment, I'm actually charging. First of all, I've got my Fitbit charger in there. I've got my iPad charger in there. Okay, I've got a charger for my phone. I can charge 3 items at the same time. It's connected to the mains. It's connected to the PC. There's 1 cable going into the PC there. That's it. So when I'm doing live demonstrations now, I can switch between the cameras. I can switch between the microphones. I can switch. I've got more options because I'm just using this 1 unit. Now this unit is $42.99. It's down in the carousel. And all I can say, since I got this 3 days ago, is changed the way that I broadcast, because I can have more. Well, I've got a shop here actually. I've got 4 cameras. I've got 1 light. I've got 2 microphones, and they're all capable of being plugged in and working independently. And that's the key thing. That you see the white buttons down the left-hand side of the unit. I can just press a button and it will switch that particular piece of kit off. So if I'm not using a camera, I can switch it off. If I'm not using a microphone, I can switch it off. And that makes everything so simple and so straightforward. I'm just going to take the Be Live logo off because you know where I'm broadcasting from. Okay, broadcasting from Be Live. But this unit can change the way you broadcast, because it means that you can have all your kit plugged in to 1 USB-A socket on your PC or Mac, or your PC. There is a Mac version as well, I think, on your PC, and it just, all the kit works as if it was plugged directly in, and that's important. The equipment that you plug in to work with your PC it's as if you'd actually plug it in directly. Yeah, so in other words, there is no degradation in the signal at all. I mean, you're watching me on my Logitech Brio camera now, which is one of the units that's actually plugged in here. My Obspot camera is plugged in. My Logitech Litra Lite is plugged in. You know where I'm going with this. Everything I need is actually plugged into 1 unit. And you can actually power them on individually just by pressing the button. You can power them off individually by pressing the button, or because it's a plug, you can switch the plug off. Yeah, so many options. The other thing is that when you are actually well, it's great fun. No, it's the little things, isn't it? Being able to press the button and switch something off, and then switch it back on again, and then make sure it's still working. Yeah, so you can have hours of fun actually using it. But it is a very practical piece of kit, and it's definitely going to feature in future broadcasts as I learn more about it. I've only had it for 2 days, but already it's changed the way that I broadcast, and I can switch between cameras. I can switch. I'm going to try this for a second. Just give me a second. If I go here, just a minute. I just want to test something. I'm going to do a live test. So it will work. I'm sure it will work. Okay, you should still be able to hear me. Okay, I'm going to check that. I'm going to go. You should still be able to hear me. Right. Okay. I'm going to test. Right. Okay. So I've switched crisp off, and I'm just using the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. So that's the first thing I can do. Second thing, if I can find it somewhere down here, is in terms of the power that this simple unit is giving me, is that I can, I'm looking for something, I will find it, and if I find it, I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. So that's the Elgato you're actually listening to now. Wait. I've got it. Don't get too excited, but I found the microphone that I'm looking for, because this microphone has not been live for a while, so I'm going to wake it up. Bear with me. Right, okay. Experiment. What I'm going to do over the next couple of days, what I'm going to do, sorry about that. It wasn't you. My sound went because I was testing things. Okay. So the thing is that now I can, once I've sorted out the wrinkles in it, I can switch between microphones. I can switch between the Elgato you're listening to now and between to the Audio Technica. And I've got another microphone as well. I've got a spare slot. So in future shows, I'll be able to do a microphone test as well. This show up to now has been all about video, but we're going to bring audio in and mix it up a bit. And I'm going to let you be able to listen to 3 different microphones and judge the quality, because we know that in a live broadcast, the quality of the sound is as important as the quality of the video. And well, I've got a range of microphones, and now I've got this unit to the right of me, which is down in the carousel. Then, just a minute. Oh, my iPad's gone off. I need to change the timing on my iPad. Okay, so basically it's simple and straightforward. It works out the box. You plug it into the power socket. Your plug is there. Looks a bit different to mine, but then again, I am in the UK, and this just works. And then you take the USB-A leads and you just plug them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then when you want to charge something, you can plug in your charging lead. You can switch the socket on for that particular item, the white button next to it, and you can charge something. And then when it's finished, then you can switch it off again. With great power comes great responsibility. So that's it. Basically, you're able to plug 7 USB-A units into your PC, and I think that is amazing. Okay, and I think the kit is well made. Okay, and it works out of the box, and you can't ask more than that of any hardware. And it does give you great flexibility. As I say, I've got 4 cameras today. I've got 2 microphones. I've got a light, and they're all working perfectly because the unit is a pass-through. There's no degradation in quality, and you've got control. I can switch the camera off. I can switch it back on again. I'm not going to do that because I switched the mic off and it didn't come back on again. So, right, now to get to the sort of where we're at in the show. Okay, just a note, if you just join me. Okay, let's go here. Okay, your host is Stephen from England. You can tell that from the voice. We're talking about live broadcasting. The next thing we're going to look at is Logitech Brio. We're going to be looking at the Samsung S22 Ultra because Corinda says it's perfect, and I agree with him. And I want to say a big thank you for actually watching and spending time with me today. I'm here to help. This is a free resource provided by Amazon Live. I am an Amazon influencer, so I may get a small commission, but the price in the carousel is the price that you pay. Now, a word about that. When I'm live, I have discounts on items in the carousel. When there is a discount on an item, and it will only be available whilst I'm live, then I'll tell you what the discount is, and you can then make a decision. Now, when you click a picture in the carousel, it will open up in a new tab. You can find out more information about the product I'm talking about, and it's the normal Amazon.com page. So you make the buying decision. Okay, clicking the carousel is free. My talking to you now is free. It's an addition to your normal Amazon.com. This is Amazon.live, and I'm just proud to be here. And over to Corinda, and Corinda is saying, can it be on mobile as well, powered with USB 3 or just for desktop? No, you wouldn't need a unit like this for mobile, Corinda. It is specifically for a PC or a laptop. Mobiles have got their own power sources, and you wouldn't want to. Well, I can't think of a reason why you'd want. You've got, just a minute, let's just rewind a minute. You've got the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra with an 8 megapixel, so yeah, 8K video. Why would you want to plug anything else into it? Okay, so over to Corinda again, and it is just basically PC. The unit I showed you is PC. Nope, you wouldn't want to. Why? You don't need to. Samsung S22 has got everything you need. You don't need to expand it, and you certainly don't need to expand it with kit that was designed to work with a PC. But thank you for the question. Okay, so we're talking about that unit, and next up is this. Okay, this is the Logitech Brio, and Logitech Brio is down in the carousel at the moment. Yeah, and it's $133.67. And if I go over here and pick up my glasses, okay, just a minute. I can read most things, but some of the places the print is small. Logitech Brio has 4,263 4.5-star reviews, and it's 11% off today. Okay. Now the thing is that you're actually watching Logitech Brio now. This is Logitech Brio camera, and I'm going to go through the features of the camera, yeah, and then I'm going to show you the software that you can use to control not only the Brio but any Logitech camera. And software is important, and I'll explain why. But let's go to the Logitech Brio webcam. As I say, you're actually watching it now, and it is Logitech Brio 4K webcam, right? 720 is DVD quality, and that's what you're watching now. 1080 is high definition, and 4K is the best quality we as consumers can get. Yeah, the higher the number, the more pixels, the clearer the picture, and it's the clarity of the picture that you're actually looking for. Now, 720 is very kind, 1080 is not as kind, and 4K shows you as you really are. Okay, be aware of that. But this is now, I mean, I was curious. I thought, what's this 4K about? Why 4K? And the thing is that it's getting towards cinema quality. You're actually getting vastly improved picture quality with 4K. Now, if you get the Logitech Brio camera today, order it today, get it tomorrow, plug it into your PC or Mac, it will be, thank you, Rinda, send you a comment, I'll be with you shortly. Plug it into your PC or Mac, then you can broadcast in 4K straight away. This is what I did. I took OBS, added my camera, which is the Brio, set the destination to YouTube, and set the resolution to 4K. I then went live from OBS, which is free, to YouTube, which is free. And I went live in 4K. And it's night and day. It's astonishing the difference in quality of the picture of a 720 1080 through to 4K. 4K is the best we can get. And the other thing is, this is important, that when you're live on YouTube in 4K, people can watch you in 4K. YouTube have done this amazing service for us where they're hosting 4K broadcasting for free. So people can watch you live in 4K, and people can watch the replay in 4K. So the combination of the Brio and YouTube is unbeatable. It's the best that you can actually do at the moment. And I'm just going to do a segue at the moment, and I'll come back. And Corinda is saying, I'm going to get that soon. My money broke. Corinda, you've got enough kit to stock a shop. Yeah, Corinda is forever buying new equipment. Good on you. Okay, there does come a point at which, yeah, annual income £20, annual expenditure 19 shillings 11 pence. Result happiness. Annual income £20, expenditure £20 and 1 penny. Result sadness. Right. Okay, that was a sort of quote from Charles Dickens. Okay, but that was just by the by. Okay, so we're talking about Logitech Brio 4K webcam. It is ultra 4K, and you'll see why. It's got a noise cancelling microphone. Now this is important. I'm using the Elgato Wave 3 microphone to speak to you right now, and I've got noise cancellation on. The camera, the Brio camera, comes with noise cancellation. Now this is important. In the UK, for the past couple of weeks, we've had a heat wave, 70 to 95 degrees, which to us is hot. Okay, because you got to remember, in the UK, we don't have aircon. Only about 5% of the properties in the UK have aircon. So when it gets 95 degrees, we are struggling. And the only thing we can do is open our windows. So you open the windows and a little breeze comes in and it feels better. But then all of a sudden you discover that your next door neighbour has opened his window too, and he's fitting a new bathroom. And there is banging and drilling and sawing going on, and you can hear everything. Now, this went on for 3 weeks. Window open, noises from outside, no control. I mean, he's every right to do it. There's not a problem there. It wasn't a sound violation or anything. But I'm broadcasting live, and I'm broadcasting Amazon Live, and nobody listening on Amazon Live heard my next door neighbor installing a bathroom. And that's what noise cancelling software is all about. The only thing that you can hear now is my voice and Alexa, what's the temperature?
At the moment, it's 17 degrees Celsius. Tonight,
Alexa, stop. The only two voices you can hear now are mine and the Echo Dot's voice. Yeah. Everything else is cut out. If the dog, this is a good one. If the dog came in now, which would be a bit of a miracle because we don't have a dog. Okay, but just pretend that you're in the middle of a Zoom call and the dog starts barking. You can hear it, but if you've got noise cancelling microphone like on the Brio, nobody else will hear it. That's what it's all about. Cut out noises, not voices. Okay, it has high definition light auto correction. I've got no lights on in here. I've just got the one Logitech Litra Glow light, and I'm about to switch that off. So I'm switching the light off. And as you can see, I've gone darker. You can still see me. The camera is compensating, but it's basically, lighting is important. We'll talk about lighting later, but it's got the auto correction. It's got a wide field of view. Okay, this is a Samsung Galaxy S22 demonstration unit. It's got a 90-degree field of view, that's the 90 degrees, and it can see in an arc around there. So that's the arc it can see through. Now, it doesn't have to use the whole 90 degrees, as we'll see in a moment, but that's as wide as it can go. So it's looking out from my desktop and it's going 90 degrees. Just to emphasize, this is a camera which is 4 times the resolution of a typical webcam. Let's just take this off. Okay, so it's 4 times the resolution of a typical webcam. The auto light correction I spoke about a moment ago is Logitech Right Light. And the camera itself, fields of view, has got 3 fields of view, sorry, 90 degrees, 78 degrees, and 65 degrees. Now, I'm going to do I'm going to do a short demonstration now, but before I do, I'm going to take the comment from Corinda. You know my Ausbot, I can't get a light correction. How do you do it? Well, you've got to, basically the light correction works automatically. You don't need to do anything. Corinda has an Ausbot as well as the other cameras that he owns. With an Ausbot, the principle's the same. I'll show you. All you need to do is to have light on you and then switch it off. Yeah, and the camera will react. You won't notice. Well, you notice it going darker, but people will still be able to see you. That's the whole thing about the light correction. You can still be seen on camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a piece of software which is called Logitech Capture. Let's just go down here. Logitech Capture is the software, and this software takes control of your camera. No, that's not right. It gives you control of your camera. You can decide how you want to be framed, how you want to appear on camera. That's the whole purpose of it. So I'm going to share the screen now because I'm in my Be Live studio, and I can share screen quite easily just by going here and here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring that software in. Okay, so there's the screen share. And this is Logitech Capture's little brother. And I'm going to go here, take that off full screen, and you can now see me together with the camera and with the software. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to use the software to control my camera. So let's go here. Okay, now if I use the software, I can go down, I can go up. I'm just clicking the buttons. I can go left, and would you believe it? Just a minute. I can go right too. Okay, until I'm back where I want to be. Hopefully that's correct. But the whole thing about the software, I'm just going to use, just let me hide that for a second because you've seen the Brio. I'm just going to use the zoom in and zoom out functions, and I'm going to change the field of view. So I'm going to use the zoom there, and I'm going to use the field of view there. Right. Now, at first glance, you may think I'm sat in front of a brick wall, but you can see a crease in the brick wall. So you know this is not a real brick wall, but it looks as though I'm sat in front of a brick wall. I'm not. Well, I am, but I'm not. I'll show you. With the software, the Logitech Capture software, I'm going to zoom out once, twice, and I'm going to go 90 degrees. So this is 90 degrees. There's no zoom on, and these are the camera's default settings. If you don't download Logitech Capture and take control of your camera, this is how you would look on camera. With Logitech Capture, you can get away from the camera's default settings. If I click three buttons, 1, 2, 3, I'm now back where I started. And you, if you hadn't seen what you just seen, you'd think I was in front of a brick wall, wouldn't you? Just suspend the belief for a moment, believe me. Now, the thing about framing yourself on camera, you want to have headroom at the top. Don't be on a Zoom call like that. It annoys the heck out of people. Okay. And you want to be sort of in the middle. Yeah. So headspace, headroom, and sort of in the middle. And the Logitech Capture software gives you that control. Okay. So whilst we're here, I'm going to zoom out again. And I'm going to go to 90 degrees again. Okay. Now, behind me, you can see a photography backdrop. You can also see, just give me a second, because talking about presentation on camera now, and behind me, you can see, if I can find it, I'm just looking in the carousel at the moment. Forgive me for a moment. Okay, behind me is the eMart T-shaped stand, which is down the carousel now. Now, if you're on a Zoom call or Facebook or YouTube, Twitter or Twitch, and you want to up your game, you want to change how you look, you can get a T stand, which then allows you to take a photography backdrop and have it. Well, it changes the way you look. So you can't see the books, you can't see the Samsung PC. You're concentrating on me being sat in front of a brick wall, and that works better. So as you can, the thing about most stands is they've got legs either side. This has just got one central pole and then two poles going off. Yeah. And then you've got four clips which are actually holding the photography backdrop on. For under $55, you can change the way you look on Zoom. You totally change. Because if you're broadcasting from home or from an office and you want to cut out everything that's behind you, screen does it. And $55 in the scheme of things to be wherever you, because I've got this wall background, which you can see. I've got another wall, because once you've got, once you've got a backdrop, then you can go and get yourself another backdrop. And you just take, I can peg this over the one that's behind me. All I need to do, and this is a tip, okay, photography backdrops are absolutely brilliant because photographers have been there way before we went live broadcasting. And there are literally thousands, well, almost thousands of photography backdrops on Amazon. And you can pay anything from $15, well, sky's the limit really, but $15, which is what this cost me, is a reasonable price to pay. The stand is down in the carousel at the moment for $39. $15 for the photography backdrop, and they're very high quality, by the way. These are not flimsy. Yeah. And what you do, and what I'm going to do this weekend, that crease over there is annoying me. That crease has got to go. What you do is you take out your ironing board, put your iron on a low temperature, you put the backdrop onto the ironing board with the image side down, and then you just gently iron it, and the creases that you can see will disappear. So I've got two to iron, so I'm going to iron the one that's behind me, and I'm going to iron this one as well. The thing is that you can actually change the way you are. Now, in terms of the backdrops themselves, okay, you have a wide choice of backdrops. If I go over here, just a minute, I'm just going to give you one in the carousel to actually look at. Down in the carousel now is one very similar to the one that's behind me. As I say, $14.99, and you can change your appearance because with the software that we've been talking about, Logitech Capture, you can click three buttons and it looks like I'm in front of a brick wall. If you're just walking past, okay. Right, back to the Logitech Brio camera, which is now to the right of me. No, it's not. It will be. I'm going to stop the software. I'm going to bring this back in. No, not that. These directors. Okay, that's the Logitech Brio. I'm going to put us side by side. Just a minute. I just want to put the photography backdrop down somewhere safe. As I say, they are quite resilient. Okay, and you just need to iron them. All right, so I'm going to put that down there, and I'm going to go side by side here. Okay, so basically going back, you can have three fields of view is where I went to show you the software. In addition to that, if you're using OBS, it can do 90 frames per second. Okay, on a web system like Be Live or Restream, then 30 frames per second is the standard. It's got versatile mounting options. Now my Brio is on top of my monitor. Equally well, it could be on top of a tripod stand. This is a tripod stand, which we'll talk about soon. And You just put the camera on top of the tripod, there's a thread underneath the camera, and you can have your camera on a tripod. So versatile mounting options either on your monitor or your PC or Mac, or on a tripod. The camera is 4K 1080 or 720p. It was released February 7th, 2017. It's been updated since then, but that's when it first came out. The software I talked about is Logitech Capture. I showed you the camera's default settings, and we've talked about using a photography backdrop to up your game, and that's all down in the carousel. So, and just a note, I'm broadcasting from BeLive, and you'll hear more about BeLive this week, most definitely. And that's it. Oh, the noise cancellation software that I'm using today is called Crisp.ai. Don't go there now, but if you go there afterwards, there is a free trial, and it's the noise cancellation system of choice. Yeah, it's probably the best one on the market, and it's working now because it's actually, well, if I go here, I'll just make sure. Yep, it's actually working now. So if I drop something on the floor, you won't hear it. I'm not about to drop something on the floor, but if I did, you wouldn't hear it. Okay, the next item in the carousel. Let's come back to here. Okay, so that's the Brio. It is on discount today. It's 133.67 down in the carousel. Next item is this. Now this is down in the carousel. Just a minute. Just let me find it. I need to zoom back in the carousel. So we're all talking about the same thing. Just a minute. I'm zooming back. Okay. We're talking about the Osbot Tiny PTZ camera. Pan, tilt, and zoom. Just let me do one thing. I just want to change something. I'm going to go here and here and apply. Okay. So now you can see me widescreen. You've got a clearer picture of the Osbot. You can see its price. It is on discount today, and I'm going to tell you what the discount is. The discount today is, just a minute. I put them somewhere. I know I have it somewhere safe. Just a minute. Just a minute. Normally it's $220. It's $269. Today you're getting 15% off. Now this is my favorite camera ever. Right, if we talk about the Brio, which we did a moment ago, the Brio is a static camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an overview of the Osbot. I'm going to give you the major details of the Osbot. Then I'm going to do a comparison between the Osbot and the Brio. Okay, and I'm going to show you the software that controls the Osbot as well. Okay, so let's go and find an Osbot. Okay, now its official name is the Osbot Tiny PTZ 4K webcam. And it's down in the carousel now. That's 15% off. Basically, PTZ, pan, tilt, and zoom, PTZ. It is AI powered, and it does have autofocus. If I bring, just a minute, I want to clear my desk up a moment. But if I bring, if I bring this on screen and I bring it, yeah, it's got autofocus. Yeah, so it's focusing on the object, not on me. And it's got AI powered framing. It is a 4K video conference camera, and I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, in a minute, I'm going to give you a practical demonstration of the Osbot. Don't go anywhere. It's dual omnidirectional microphones. So that's basically tied in with being a conference webcam. It's got auto tracking with a twin axis gimbal. In actual fact, I can show you a real Osbot. This is a real Osbot. There on the top is the lens, which is on a 2-axis gimbal, which is mounted on the body. And this one is actually attached to a tripod. The camera that's taking this shot is the 4K. I've got 2 Osbots. I love them so much. They're so powerful. And hopefully I'm about to demonstrate that. Okay, so it's got a 2-axis gimbal, which I've just shown you. It's got low light correction. If I turn my light off, which I'm going to now, I've gone darker. But if I switch, and the camera is trying to compensate so you can still see me, and I'm going to switch the lights back on. And I'm not just going to switch the one light back on. Just give me a second. I'm actually going to switch my main lights on. And that will make a whole heap of difference. You can see me now. I just want to make sure I've got one setting right. Okay, so if you thought I was dark earlier, then I was, but I'm not as dark now. Okay, you can probably see the wall better as well. It gives a better lighting on the wall. So it's got low light correction. It's got magical gestures. If I go like that, then I can ask the camera to start tracking me. If I go like that, I can ask it to stop tracking me. If I go like that, I can ask it to zoom in. If I go like that, I can ask it to zoom out. Those are hand gestures. All you have to do is be in front of the camera. Yeah, you don't need to be anywhere near the computer. Just use your hands in front of the camera lens. It's got dual omnidirectional microphone system with noise reduction. Now, noise reduction is not noise cancellation. In other words, it's not going to cut out all the background noise. It's going to reduce it. Again, that feeds into our, well, what I'm going to do now, because you actually, I should be showing you this. Okay, just a minute. Okay, it's got 3 preset positions. Okay, these you can set up and change at any time, but I'm going to go out to the garden, and basically this is a view out of the window. This is Devizes in England. I'm going to take that off so you can see a bit more of it. And that's not my garden, that's the neighbour's garden. But the thing about the HubSpot 4K is it's got 4x zoom. So if I zoom out, you can see that I'm actually looking through a window. Yeah, and that's with no zoom. Okay, and we're live. Okay, then I can zoom in, and I'm going to zoom in the whole 4K, which makes that work. So that's my first setting. My second setting, preset, is the desktop. Okay, and again, that's the desktop, and it's live. And there's the unit we were talking about earlier. And you can see an Echo Dot, you can see the TP-Link Deco Wi-Fi, you can see Aftershok's headphones, the XR3 Pro earbuds, and if I put it up here, you can see the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Okay, and then the third thing you can see is me. Now, I've got a problem here. I've got 3 cameras. I don't know which one to look at. So if I'm looking at the wrong camera, that's just going to stay that way. I've got 3 cameras, 1 microphone. That's the way I'm working this. And it's all plugged into the unit I showed you earlier. Right, so 3 preset positions: garden, desktop, me. Okay, and I can switch between them simply by clicking a button on the software, and then I can come back again. Yeah. Yes, that was me on the Samsung Galaxy S22 working on 4G. I've got an unlimited plan. That's why I'm doing it. Now, the next thing about this particular camera is if I go here, just a second, that worked well. Okay, because you're actually watching, wait a minute, no. Yeah, you're actually watching me on the HubSpot. Okay, let's just make sure of that. I want to make sure I'm talking about the right camera. So this is the HubSpot 4K. It's got AI tracking, which I'm going to demonstrate in a moment. And we've looked at the versatile mounting. It can go either on your monitor or it can go on a tripod. Right, okay, now. This, just a minute, let's take that off again. and let's hide that. Right, I'm going to show you the feature which makes the OBSBot special. I'm just making sure that I don't fall over first. Okay, I'm using the software. I'm going to press one button. Okay, now this is live video. We're on Amazon Live. You're watching me and I'm grateful. And I'm going to show you something which may work or may not. Well, it's going to work. I know it's going to work. So let's go for it. I'm going to press the button. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move backwards. Yeah. Okay, so I've moved back. The camera is following me. So it's got AI tracking. The camera is following me. It's making sure I'm in the center of the screen. It's making sure I've got headroom. Yeah. But in addition to that, the camera is following me as I move. Okay, this is the OBSBot Tiny. This is the power of the OBSBot Tiny. It's got AI tracking software. It's on a 20-axis gimbal. It's not restricted. It's got 140-degree travel. So it can see through a wide arc. Yeah, it can see through a wide arc. And every time that I move, because it's got face recognition built in and face enhancement built in, every time I move, the camera will move. And I don't need to do anything other than walk about. Yeah. And the camera is going to follow me everywhere. And every time I move, the camera moves and it puts me in the center of the screen. This is the software that goes with this. The thing I love about the OBSBot is that they update the software, which I'm going to show you in a moment, but they also update the firmware. They're always updating the firmware. Anyway, behind me, you can see my backdrop. Yeah. Okay, a bit closer to. You've got a central pole, which is going up there, and then you've got the rod across the top. As I say, for $55 all in, you can get the stand and the backdrop, both are down in the carousel, and you can change the way you actually look on screen. Where were we? Oh yeah, following you about. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, because I can lean over here. Right, now, the OBSBot 4K is an ideal conference camera. Okay, imagine, if you will, a conference table. Sat round the table are 5 people. Okay, and they're going to do a Zoom call, but it's going to go out live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter as well. Everything's been set up, and they're going to broadcast. Just a minute, just need to change something. Okay, they're going to broadcast. What you want to happen is to go from the first speaker to the second speaker to the third. You get the idea. You want to move between the live speakers. Yeah. Now, because the OBSBot is on a 140-degree field of view, you can use one OBSBot camera to put 5 people on live video. In other words, every time somebody speaks, the person controlling the software moves the camera, because we've seen you can move the camera, moves the camera to look at them. And then when the next person speaks, switches the camera again. Now, if you've been watching for a few minutes, you will know earlier that we said that the OBSBot 4K camera has noise reduction, which is basically everybody around the table will speak into the dual microphones on the OBSBot. So this is probably the most cost-effective conference camera you could ever have. Okay, and I've got a notification. Just a minute. Just let me go to the desktop. I got a notification then. I got my first ever notification. And do you know what the notification said? Just a minute. Okay. Just let me come back. Please let me back. Okay, back to me. I'm using, just to show you, if you just dropped in, thank you. But I am using BeLive. I'm using BeLive. Okay, be.live. And be.live is my favorite platform. Well, I also work for BeLive as a content creator, but BeLive, my studio has just told me, because I'm not looking at my iPad all the time, my studio has just told me that somebody has followed me, and I want to say a big shout out. Just a minute, let's get this right. To Alexa Filipenko. Alexa, thank you. No, no, no. Oh dear. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, I've got to tell you. I've got to tell you what happened. Uh, I said the word Alexa, not yeah, to actually mention the lady who's just followed me. Thank you, Corinne. I'll come to that in a second. I want to say a big thank you. If I could say your name again without waking up my echo dot, I would, but I am so grateful. So big thank you for actually following me. It does make a heck of a difference when somebody follows you. I mean, basically, every time, if you want to know, if you're enjoying the show, and Alexa has enjoyed the broadcast, so has followed me, and thank you. Then following is the best thing you can do for anybody on here. Okay, over to Corinda, and Corinda is saying, okay, I haven't done. Oh, wait a minute. I swear Corinda's going to open up a shop. I love OBSBot because I love the AI tracking. I agree totally, Corinda. It is fascinating and it just works. Well, you should open it. Yeah, you should do an unboxing, Corinda. Corinda broadcasts on Amazon Live too, and Corinda, do an unboxing. Yeah, unbox an OBSBot. Right now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do two things. I'm going to show you a comparison between the Brio and the OBSBot, so you've got a direct comparison, and then I'm going to show you the software that I've actually been using. Okay, every camera you get, just a minute, I need to lock something. Every camera you get has software. Download it. You know why? You should always download the software. So let's put this up there and apply. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the other camera on. I'm going to hide that, switch the other camera on, and take that off. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you have got Logitech Brio. On the right-hand side of the screen, you've got the OBSBot 4K. Now, I have a problem because I do not know which camera to look at. So I'm just going to look at one of them and you've got to guess which one it is. Okay. They do say that the way to have a presence when you're broadcasting, and I'm Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, whenever you're broadcasting, is to look at the camera. And I try to do that. It's a learned skill, and I'm still trying. But when you've got two cameras to look at, you don't know which one to use. Anyway, we're about to have a live demonstration of the difference between the Logitech Brio and the OBSBot 4K. Now, first of all, let me say that both are from renowned companies, okay, known for building quality cameras, and they have sold lots of them. So both are brilliant cameras in their own right, but the Brio is a static camera. It's not a PTZ camera. It can't pan, it can't tilt, and it can't zoom. What does that mean? Okay, now if this works, it'd be good. Okay, so I'm going to go there and I'm just going to move back again. Okay, now so far both cameras are actually following me and you get that. Okay, but if I click here and I go here, this is the difference. That worked well, didn't it? Just a minute. Just a minute. slow down. This is right. This live video is wonderful, except when it goes wrong. The difference between the Obspot 4K and the Brio is simply this: that the Brio has still found me and he's got my hand, but he's no idea of where my face is, and it's fixed. It's only got, he said, it's only got a 90-degree field of view. Yeah, it can't move. It's not on a gimbal. Whereas, as you can see, the Obspot is on a gimbal and it can track me wherever I go. Yeah, and it can make sure I'm in the center of the screen. It can make sure I've got headroom. And at this point in time, I can use the Obspot software. And he's lost me for a second, but just a minute. If I go here and come back up, yeah, I can adjust it. Right, okay, thank you for the follow. I can adjust it, yeah, using the software, but I'm stood up at the moment, which means I'm nowhere near the computer. But the whole point about this is that the Brio is a fantastic static camera. I've had it for 2 years, not had a problem with it. This is my second Obspot, and it's basically because it does more. Yeah, you can have more fun with the Obspot because it's not a static camera. So when I'm asked what's the difference between the two cameras, I think this is quite a. Just a minute. I just need to do something. Let's take a look at the garden. When people ask me what's the difference, yeah, then the first difference is that we've got 3 presets on the Obspot. I can go from the garden to the desktop to me. Okay, and the other thing is that I can actually move. Right, okay, I'm going to basically switch that camera off. So say goodbye to the Brio and stick with the Obspot 4K for a moment. And I'm going to take its name off. Okay, and I'm going to share some software with you. So this is the software that I've been using to actually control. I'll come to the comments in a minute, and thank you for making comments, but I'm going to bring this software in and I'm going to put it full screen. Just give me a second. We'll put the software full screen. Okay, this is the software that's controlling the Obspot Tiny. Now, as you can see, if I go side by side, this will work. Oh, I want to be on that side. Just a minute. That works better. Okay, sorry about that. This is the software, and just to explain it to you, if I put it full screen, basically, as you can see, it's controlling 2 Obspot cameras. I've got the Obspot original one, which I got in January this year, and then the Obspot 4K I've had about 2 months. In terms of the status, I can switch a device off. If you you can switch devices. You can ask them to go to sleep. If I don't use it for 10 minutes, switch off. If I don't use it for 5 minutes, switch off. I can control the zoom from here. So if we go, yeah, and there are my presets, Stephen, desktop, garden. So I've labeled them. And if I go here, yeah, and I just press the garden button, I'll go out to the garden. If I press the desktop button, you're with me on this, aren't you? It will take us to the desktop. And if I press the Stephen button, we'll come back to me. So basically, the software is so easy to operate. It operates multiple Obspot cameras, as you can see. And what I'm going to do now is just for a moment, whilst we're staying with Obspots, because I'm going to cover the other Obspot as well. So just give me a second and let's stop sharing. Okay, and come back to me. Okay, and I'm going to come back to the Brio. Okay, so that was the HubSpot 4K. Okay, I'm going to switch that off, and we're back. And we covered the HubSpot 4K, and that's why I think it is a brilliant camera. Okay, but I bought two of them, and Corinda is saying, "Hey Stephen," and you know the software, the HubSpot, with the effect. Basically, as far as being able to do anything with any camera, you download the software, you install the software, and then you've got control of the camera. That's it. It's an app on your desktop. Just go to HubSpot, search for software, and you can download the software, and you can take control of your camera just in the way that I did just then. And it's as simple and straightforward as that. Okay, there's nothing else to it. Yeah. So I think I've got your question, Corinda. You know the software, the HubSpot, how do you set it up to use with the effect? It just works. Yeah. I mean, basically, in terms of tracking me, I just press one button. Yeah. And then it tracks me as I move about. Press it again, it stops tracking me. It's the gestures, start tracking, stop tracking. And you can do them with the software. And with Corinda again. And is the software? Yes, it's free. If you buy hardware, then the software is free. Because you can get more out of the camera. I mean, if you didn't have the software for the HubSpot, then you would be losing out big time. You're not using 1/4 of the facilities that are actually available to you if you've got a software. Right. Okay. So that's the HubSpot 4K, and the next item in the carousel is my favorite phone, Corinda's favorite phone. Okay, because he said it was. My Samsung S22 Ultra is perfect, said Corinda earlier. And it is. So we're going to take a look at this beautiful camera and mobile phone. You tend to forget. Just give me a second. Okay. And mobile phone. Just a minute. Don't want to explore premium. I just want to show that. I've done 5,800 steps today. Okay. Right, this is the Samsung. Just a minute, I just need to make a change. Just give me a second. Theme, go to there. Right, this is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra smartphone. It's down in the carousel today, and today it is 999. Just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Just a minute. I need to check something, and I do want to say thank you for watching live. The Samsung Galaxy S22 is $200 off. There's a $200 discount. There is a $200 discount if you use the link today. So it's $200. If you click the link in the carousel to find out more, and then basically take it from there. Okay. The phone itself is either 256 gig of memory or 512. My friend Guy Cook has the 512. I've got the 256. It's got an 8K camera and 8K video. Now, in a moment or two, I'm going to show you an 8K video. Okay, I'm going to well, I can talk about this, but what I'd rather do is I'm going to show you some photos. I'm going to show you some video. Yeah, because I went out with this phone and I actually shot a video. During the week, I go live and I talk about. Well, I go live on desktop. Okay, I'm on my Microsoft Surface Book 2 now. But at the weekend, I go out and about with the phone and the gimbal, and I shoot video. I love doing that. Great relaxation. This phone has got the brightest display that Samsung have ever produced. Now, if I go, just a minute, I've closed some software. Why did I do that? Just a minute. I need to come back. Okay. Just give me a moment. I'm just catching up with myself. If I go here, just a minute. I'm just waiting for the software to catch up. I was out in the garden earlier this week when the sun was shining, and this phone does have the brightest display I've ever seen. I was able to scroll and read easily. Okay, so let's switch that camera off. Take that off. Oh, wait a minute. Just a minute. I just want, forgotten something again. Just a second. Just a second. Just give me a second. Be worth it. Okay, if I switch my camera on. Okay, we're talking about Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. It's got the brightest display that Samsung ever done. The other thing it's got, if I go picture in picture for a moment, the other thing it's got is it has, do you remember the Galaxy Note used to have this? The S Pen is back. It's got an S Pen. This really is an amazing phone. It's got the S Pen. And that means that I can do this. Just bear with me a second. It won't take a second. That was written just now. So I've got the S Pen. It means there are 7 different apps on here I can actually use to using the S Pen. And in addition to that, if you're in a meeting and you've got to switch your phone off, then the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra can take notes whilst it's off. So if you're in a phone's off meeting, you can still make notes. You can save the notes, and when the meeting ends, your notes will be there when you switch your mobile phone on. It's got a long battery life. I found from experience it lasts between 24 and 30 hours. With this camera, you can take 8K super steady video. Sorry, you got locked in the lights then. 8K super steady video. It's got nightography. I'm going to show you nightography in a moment, but it is the ability to take photographs at night. The lenses, just let me put the pen down. 108 megapixel, 3 times zoom, 10 times zoom, and a nightography lens. And I just need to switch the phone back on. Okay. It's got an adaptive color. As I just explained, I can see it in the brightest sunlight. It has a long-lasting battery and fast charging. Now, down in the carousel, you'll find a fast charging unit, and that allows me to charge my phone inside an hour from 0 to 100. I've actually done it. It's got the embedded S Pen, I just said. The thing about it is, if I take the phone out of the room and I forget the pen, I get a message on the phone saying, have you forgotten your S Pen? But I'm just going to put it back in place now. Okay, so that's quite handy. And then the phone is unlocked by Samsung, which means you can go to your favorite carrier. This is dual SIM, so you can get 2 SIM cards, 2 phone numbers, 2 lots of text. Simple and straightforward, your favorite carrier. As far as dimensions are concerned, this is 6.8 inches deep. It's got a WQHD and it's an edge screen, okay, with 120 hertz adaptive refresh rate, which goes down to 1, amazingly, as it works out where you are and what you need. As far as charging is concerned, it's got 5,000 milliamp charging, 45 watts, which is the fastest. And then if you do wireless charging, which is slower, you can get 15 watts. And you can also do wireless power share. The rear camera is 108 megapixel. The front facing camera is 40 megapixel. Okay, and the camera was released and the mobile phone on February 9th, 2022. Okay, so this is this year's flagship Samsung phone. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hide that graphic. I'm going to go over here and go, just a minute, I just need to find something. Just a minute. Yep. Right, this video, this is, by the way, the Courts Garden in Wiltshire. And the video was used the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and the DJI OM5 gimbal, which is also down the carousel. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch my microphone off. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Enjoy a beautiful day in the sunshine in Wiltshire, England. We're at the Courts Garden and just had lunch. And the thing about the Courts Garden is it's a beautiful place to actually stroll around and just enjoy the gardens. So I'm just going to walk around, and I am using my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and my new DJI OM5 gimbal. I've got the internal microphone on the Samsung, so no external mic. I'll try an external mic next time, but it's just so beautiful today. It's about 28 degrees, and I'm just going to try something here because if I do this, I should be able to change the view. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to come down again. It's actually stuck, isn't it? Wait a minute. Let's adjust this. This is just a trial. Okay, so I'm going to go like that, or like that, or like that. I've got to be able to see what's on the screen, so I can see what's on the screen. And just wondering how steady this is. This is better than actually holding the phone. It's a lot easier to actually grip the gimbal than it is to actually grip the phone, so this is a win. But there's so many things this gimbal can do, and I really haven't learnt half of them, or even a quarter of them. But let's look at the borders, and there are people here today. Car park was full, but I don't think everybody actually came over here. But there's just flowers here in full bloom. We are at the beginning of August, first week in August, and the grounds here are just absolutely stunning. Now, the other thing that's important this year is that I've got my new eyes, which means that this year I can actually see clearly where I'm going. That's the entrance over there, where you come in, and then you led into the gardens. There's a cafe just around the corner, and everywhere there are places to actually sit down. Angelica's sat down at the moment while I'm taking this video. But if I try and walk a bit faster, the other thing. Right, so that is the Courts Garden in Wiltshire, and I took out the mobile phone. Okay, and I just shot it. I mean, it's an 8K video. I can show you in 720. The full video is over on YouTube. If you type in my name on YouTube, you'll find all the videos that I've done over the years. I've done videos of Stonehenge, of Avebury, of the Courts Garden. Everywhere we go at the weekend, Angelica, my partner, and I, we go out and we do country walking, and we visit places around the UK, especially around wonderful Wiltshire, which is where we live. And I always go out with my mobile phone. And I'm just going to catch up with Corinda. And Corinda is saying, I can stop that too. Hey, Stephen, I think software is free. That's the last comment. Oh, wait a minute. No, just a minute. Corinda's been going. So let's have a look. Does it work on XSplit? No. And I don't know about that. And over to Corinda again. The one I like is about nightography. I'll come to that next, Corinda, I promise. And Corinda's got the phone. The camera is clear. It is brilliant. It's 8K. And when we talk about webcams and 4K, 8K is the best webcam. It's the best camera you could have in your broadcasting studio. And S Pen is really good. And what I like about Samsung, when you open it up, XSplit work well. XSplit's not on the Samsung phone. Okay. And VCam. XSplit VCam doesn't work with a phone. It only works with desktop, and we haven't got that yet. And Corinda's saying, yeah, that's true. And I think we're coming up to Corinda's last comment. But when you don't have a lot of app, it don't run out. Okay, thank you, Corinda. Right, okay, now, Corinda mentioned a moment ago nightography. And before we leave the wonderful Samsung S22 mobile, which I'm going to hold the right way up, I do promise you, just a minute. Okay, hello Amazon. I can take that out. I can go there and there. And that's my Fitbit score for today. That should update because I've just, wait a minute. Yeah, that will update in a moment. Okay, so just to finish off, the camera itself was released Feb 9th, 2022. This is this year's model. It's the best Samsung phone there's ever been. It's the best phone I've ever had. The video was created using the phone. And I've got other videos as well. But all I want to do now, if I take that off screen, I'm just going to put the phone back on its stand, is what I want to do now is just show you some photographs taken with the camera. So I'm going to hide the video. It's going to take a little minute to set up, but it'll be worth it, honest. That's the quartz. I've got some images. Just a minute. Okay, we found the images. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go picture in picture. Not that way around, that way around. I'm going to take my name off because you know who I am by now. So let's go to the logo and hide the logo. Okay, so these photographs were taken with the Samsung S22 Ultra. And the first image is this one. We went on a visit to Birdland, which is basically in the Cotswolds in England. And I had the camera with me, and you can see there were flamingos. And then using the zoom on the mobile phone, I zoomed in, and we got a closer shot of the flamingos. And I just love the way that this camera suggests which photographs you should take. I'm not claiming credit for all these photographs. There were penguins there as well. So this is the zoo. This is the penguins waiting to be fed. And yes, 5 out of 6 are asleep. And then also, this is my partner, Angelica. We live in Devizes in Wiltshire in England. This photograph was taken on the day that we went to Birdland in the Cotswolds. And I love the composition of the photograph and Angelica. Next photograph is we sowed seeds this year. We had to take a tree down. It was diseased, so we sowed a wild garden, and these are photographs taken in the wild garden with the Samsung Galaxy S22. I've got to update this photos. This is the Crammer, which is just around 5 minutes around the corner from us. It is a man-made pond. Behind the left-hand tree is St. James's Church, which is our church. We get Canadian geese, we get mallard ducks, we get swans, we get pigeons, we get all sorts of wildfowl from around the globe actually visiting, and it's brilliant to sit there on a sunny day. And then this is the road into Devizes, and you've got the cars on the left-hand side, the no parking signs in the middle, and then the shop with its wares outside. And this is our patio at night, and this is the nightography that Corinda was speaking about a moment ago. This photograph was taken at 11 o'clock at night, and I couldn't see a thing, nothing. But the camera, because of the 4 lights, which came from Amazon, of course, was able to pick this out. I just think this is pretty close to being a perfect photograph. Now, the nightography on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra can turn nighttime into, well, some of them look like they were taken during the day. And we have a brewery in town, Wadworth Brewery. This is one of 4 shy horses who work at the brewery. Their job during the week is to actually go from one public house to another, delivering cask ale. And I'm just lucky on the day, 500 people in the town centre watching the relay. And it was, as it turns out, a very special day. Okay, so that is, if I go here, just a minute. That is this phone, Samsung Galaxy S22, the best phone that Samsung ever produced, the best phone that I've ever owned. It's down in the carousel. It's on discount today. It's $200 off. Back to me. Okay, so that is the Samsung. Now, this show is called, just wait a minute. This show is called Lights, Camera, Action, about webcams, microphones, audio gear, live video, and Fitbits. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to set something up. Just give me a second or two. I'm not far away. I'm still here. My microphone's still on, hopefully. Okay, and I can close a few tabs, make life a little bit easier, and close that tab too. Close that tab too. So I'm now back in the studio, and I'm going to hide that. Come back to me. Okay, and we can say farewell to the photographs, and just back to me. And the next thing I want to do is I want to go over. I'm hopefully going to find this because I think I put it somewhere. You know, when you put something down, you put it somewhere safe, and then you can't remember where you put it. Well, I put my next item somewhere safe in the carousel. And just scrolling through the carousel, you can ask me questions on any item in the carousel, but I'm going through the carousel to get to the action part of this show, which is Fitbit. Now, every 2 years, I've been using Fitbit for 8 years. Fitbit are owned by Google. So as far as security is concerned, Fitbit are very secure. And Google liked them so much they bought the company. This is the Fitbit Charge 5. And if I can get that to stop on for a minute. There you are. That's the Charge 5. In actual fact, if I just go, I can show you a picture of it, can't I? Just a second. I can do better than I'm doing at the moment. I just need to zoom through the carousel. Whilst I'm talking, I'm multitasking and I'm looking for something in the carousel. If you see it before me, then please do shout out. But I think it's somewhere near here. Okay, and we're going to get there. Not there. Not there. I've hidden it. I'm trying to find this so I can actually show you. I find what's it? They're next to each other. Just a minute. Okay, I'm nearly there. One of the things obviously we try to do is to actually set up before the broadcast, but occasionally you're getting closer. I can sense it. I can sense it. 3, 2, whew. This There you are. You've got a photograph of it. This is the Fitbit Charge 5. It's $128.54. It's down in the carousel. And today, sorry, it's 100. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a price difference. You've got a better price than I have. Okay, the price has changed whilst we've been on air, and the price is now down to $118.49. So we have a discrepancy. It's 21% off today. It's $118.49. Now I'm going to report that price difference, but fortunately it's the right way around. $118.49 for the Charge 5. And I'm just going to change the way I look on screen. Just give me a second. Okay, and I'm going to go like this. And in fact, I might go like this. Okay, so it's even cheaper than I'm showing you. That's good. That's the right way to be. Now, I've had Fitbits for the last 8 years, and Angelica always has the same model as I. And over the weekend, we got the Fitbit Charge 5. And the thing is, it's got, as you can see, it's got a color display. And the Fitbit is my primary way of keeping fit. Okay, the Fitbit has one job in life, and that's to measure the number of steps that you do a day. Now, I try and do 8,000 steps a day, which is 4 miles. 2,000 steps equals 1 mile, roughly speaking. And if you can do 8,000, 10,000 steps a day, you're going to stay fit. And this tracker is going to help you do that. But it's not just a tracker. This is the gateway to getting fitter. And it's a great gift to yourself. It's a great gift for a friend or family. Nobody expects a Fitbit as a present. That's the truth. But this can change your health, or it can help to change your health. No guarantees given. But if I share my screen, just let me share my screen a moment. I'm going to go over here and share a Chrome tab. Okay, wait a minute, that one. Okay, and let me go here and go here. And I'm just waiting for it to turn up on screen. Okay, so I can now bring it on screen and put it full screen. I'm showing you my personal Fitbit dashboard, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the services that are, well, free if you own a Fitbit. You pay the price down the carousel, and it is on discount today. And I'm now showing you basically what the Fitbit can do once you've got it. Now, the first thing you do when you buy something new, and let's just go off full screen now. The first thing you do when you buy something new is that you register it for the warranty. Then, because you're on Fitbit.com, you can join the Fitbit community. And the Fitbit community is free to join. And the beauty of the community is it's made up of people who want to stay fit using a Fitbit. So you've got that in common for starters. And it's about community. There are millions of people, Fitbit users around the world, who are on Fitbit.com, members of the communities on all sorts of topics. But the first advantage is, if I just highlight that, the first advantage is top left, you can see the icon. I'm going to shrink myself, I'm too big. Okay, I can shrink. If I shrink myself, okay, you can see the whole thing now. Community, and this is where Fitbit scores. Every week, different groups of people who have connected on Fitbit organized weekly challenges. A weekday challenge Monday through Friday, weekend challenge Saturday and Sunday. It's free to join. It's organized by members for members. And the thing is, it's a ladder. And the idea is who does the most steps. And because you've given express permission, the people who are on your ladder can see the steps that you do. And the magical thing that happens is when I'm on a challenge, if I go out and I do a 3-mile walk, when I get back, people have been cheering me on because Fitbit has updated the website and people know I've done a 3-mile walk and they congratulate me. Now, when I see other people doing a 3-mile walk, I congratulate them. So what you've got is a support group. One of the things about staying fit is motivation. Okay, you begin the new year or you begin a new month and you say, right, this month I'm going to walk 80 miles. And the first week goes well. The second week, I can't go out today. Yeah, and you do less miles. And then the third week, so it can taper off. Okay, that's human nature. But if you're a member of Fitbit.com, you've got people cheering you on. So when you go out and you do exercise, people congratulate you. And it's the greatest motivation there is because these are people from around the world with no ulterior motive than keeping fit using a Fitbit. And they want you to keep fit too. And Fitbit is the only way that I found that actually works consistently because of the community there. Now, the second one is if you wear your Fitbit at night, it will measure your sleep. And I'm going to click that and see where it goes. I've recently started doing this because I've got the new Fitbit. And again, if I say see more, okay, we're going to go over a page and it's going to show you. Oh, that's taking, all right. You see, when I started wearing it, and you can see it's basically recorded my sleep each day, and I'm getting around about 8 hours a night, which is good. And it breaks down your sleep. It tells you when you're in deep sleep, when you're in light sleep, when you wake up, which we do surprisingly often during the night, and it gives you a sleep score. Right, now the next one is what's the maximum number of steps you've done in a day? Now the maximum number of steps I've done in a day is 60,000 steps. Yeah, 60,000 steps is 30 miles. Right, I take part in marathon walking. Okay, and I can wear this medal now because of those 60,000 steps. I got this medal. Yeah, I don't often get a chance to wear it, so forgive me for a moment. Bit of self-indulgence. I'm going to put my medal on, and this is the medal that I got for walking from Avebury to Stonehenge, 26 miles, 385 yards. Now, I couldn't have done it if I hadn't been training using a Fitbit. Yeah, and it's quite possible I'm older than you as well. It just keeps me fit. Yeah, and motivation is to be able to do a marathon. So I go out on a regular basis and I do 8,000, 10,000 steps. My son came over from Australia 2 weeks ago, and what more could you do? Went out for a 7-mile walk, 14,000 steps. Okay. Now, next item is, if we go over here, is weight. You can use Fitbit.com to actually track your weight. There is a mobile app, which is either iOS or Android, and on the mobile app you can record your weight every day, every week, every month, and you're not paying for this. It's included in buying the Fitbit. Also, either on the desktop or Fitbit.com, you can keep a food diary. Now it's got all the common foodstuffs in there, so Fitbit will count the calories you use each day and you can enter the calories you eat. Okay, so that's good. Now, the reason I use the Fitbit is this. I'm going to go down here. You can see I've been out yesterday and today, but I'm going to go to see more. Okay, and it tells me I've done 5,811 steps today, 2.69 miles. It says this week I've done 14.86 miles, but the one I'm interested in is the year one. Okay, and it says that I've done 797 miles this year. in the last 12 months. My target, my personal target, is to do 1,000 miles. And with the Fitbit, I am going to achieve that. I'm going to change the way I do things. Also on here, we said you can register your food. Yeah. You can register your weight. Okay. And that might take a second or two. Okay. And I haven't changed that in ages. And it also said, as we said earlier, it's got the sleep as well. So back to the dashboard. And that's it. Basically, if you buy the Fitbit that's down in the carousel, I'm still wearing the medal. If you buy the Fitbit that's down in the carousel, then just a minute, I just need to get into my iPad. It is on discount today. It's $118.49, which is 21% off. If you click the link in the carousel, then you're aware. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a bit of synchronized thingy. Okay. Right, we're going to do the Grand Tour. Okay, my version of the Grand Tour. And what I need to do is just set something up. So just let me, just a minute. I'm just waiting for this to keep up. I can stop sharing now. That might speed things up a bit. I can close that tab. That might speed things up a bit as well. And I just want to get back. I wish there was a quick way to go back to the beginning. This might take a while. Just a minute. I'm going to go off solo. I'm going to show this on screen. Okay, so in no particular order, while we go backwards, green cables. Okay, this is my favorite Lamicor stand down in the carousel. If you have a lapel microphone you want to plug into your new phone, which doesn't have an audio socket, this cable works well. And there's my chess set, which we can see here. There's the chess set. I just want to get back to the beginning of this. So we're just going to zoom through. So you're going to see photographs go before your eyes. All these items are in the carousel. And eventually, in a minute, both carousels, just give me a second, we're going to try this. I'm determined. Okay. And just take this back to the beginning. That's the microphone you've been listening to. That's the What Tiny we've looked at. And I'm just going to go back to the beginning until we get to here. No, here. That's where I want to be. Okay. Now, the first thing we did was we looked at this unit here, okay, which is basically a USB hub. It's got 7 slots, which means I've got 3 cameras and 2 microphones plugged in. It got recharge as well. You can actually switch it on and off individually. So that has changed. That unit has changed the way. Let's take this off. That unit has changed the way that I broadcast, because I've now got, well, I've got 4 cameras. Yeah, I've got 2 microphones, and I'm going to practice with the Audio Technica. I can do a lot more things than I could before. And if you're looking a way to actually expand your PC, then the unit that's showing now, this one, has got 7 USB air ports, 3 recharging USB slots, so you can recharge things. It is mains powered. So in other words, it works even when your computer is not on. So you can use your cameras in different ways. Each of the slots, the 7 blue and the 3 red, has an on-off button at the side of it. And basically you just press that and it will switch it off and save you power. And basically this is just, if I just look again, yeah, this unit has got one output which goes into my Microsoft Surface Book 2 there. So it's got 10 ins and 1 out. And it is well built, well designed, and it's a pleasure to use. And it does make things. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Stop. It does make things more usable. Okay, it gives you access to all your cameras, all your microphones, all within the one unit. 7 USB-As, 3 USB-A chargeable ports, and right. The next item we talked about was Logitech Brio camera. Again, we said this is 4K. It can broadcast to 4K in 4K to YouTube using OBS. Simple and straightforward to do. Add your camera to OBS, set your destination to YouTube, and switch to 4K. The next camera we looked at and we had fun with was the Osbot Tiny 4K. The Osbot Tiny 4K is on discount today. It's $228 as opposed to $269 if you click the link in the carousel. This camera has, first of all, 3 presets. So I'll just, as we're here, I can go from preset 1 out into the garden. I can zoom out, 4 times zoom. I can zoom back in. I can go back to desktop. Hello. I can go back to me. 3 presets. Yeah. So it's got 3 presets. It's also got a 2-axis gimbal, which means it can actually go through 140 degrees. Yeah. I'm swerving, but you get the idea. And because it's on tracking, it can actually follow you. And as we saw earlier, I can stand up and the camera will actually follow me. And that's the difference between the Obspot and the Brio is the tracking. Yeah. And this is the most fun camera as today. Today it is on discount. Right. The next item we looked at, okay, is the flagship phone from Samsung, the best phone that Samsung have ever created, the Samsung Galaxy S22. If you click the link today, there is a $200 discount. But this phone has, well, it's got the 8K video. It's got a stabilizer built in. It can do 8K video, 8K for images, and it's a joy to use. It's the best phone I've ever had, and it does everything you want to a phone. And it's got the S Pen. Okay. Now, I didn't show you this earlier, but the next item in the carousel is the DJI OM5 gimbal. Now, as I explained earlier, I go out at the weekend and I use my mobile phone to create video. And I go to Stonehenge, I go to Avebury, we go all around Angelica and I, country houses, castles and national monuments. And every time I go, he said, hope that this will work. Every time I go, I'm trying to get this to work. Every time I go out, yeah, I've got it. I take my DJI OM5 gimbal. Basically, it's got a magnet on the top. That's the way it fastens to your mobile phone. It takes larger mobile phones, and you can go and shoot video with your gimbal. Now, the thing is, when you normally hold a camera, you hold it like that. Yeah. A gimbal allows you to go up, left, right, and down. And with its selfie extension, you can go up. So you can take images way above your head height. You can take them to the left, you can take them to the right. A gimbal gives you steady images all the time. And the DJI OM5 is one of the best examples of gimbals. And I love taking photographs with that. I'm just going to lock it again. So there it is. It comes in a wonderful, simple carrying case. Yeah, DJI OM5 gimbal down in the carousel. Okay, the next item is the Logitech C920X camera. Now, this was the first camera that I ever bought. We're talking about the Logitech C920X. The X stands for extra. I'll explain that in a minute. It is a full 1080p camera, so I'm broadcasting in 720, which is DVD quality 1080 is up there, and this camera, which it's on discount today. Wow, just a minute, hang on, don't go anywhere. Let me just look a bit closer. It's 14% off today. This was the first camera I ever bought. 6.5 years ago, we all came off and Facebook Live started, and we said we've got to up our game. We need an external camera, an external microphone. And in our hundreds, we went to buy the Logitech C920. It was our first experience with an external camera and external microphones. It's got twin microphones built in, and it's full 1080p. Yeah. And that basically it's been redesigned since we got ours. I mean, mine, just a minute. Just a minute. I'm going to make a mess here. Just a second. No, we're not going to go there. Okay. I don't want to destroy my set. I've tempted, but the C920X is just brilliant camera. It's got dual omnidirectional microphones. It has HD light auto correction, so if you switch the light off, it will correct. It's got advanced capture software, which we saw earlier. If you get a camera, get the software to go with it. Logitech camera, Logitech Capture is what you want. Go to logitech.com, download the software. Do it. Otherwise, you'll lose out. Because if you don't download the software, you will look. If I go here, you will look like this. This is the default camera settings. You do need to download the software to get control of your camera. Okay, behind me is the T stand, which is down the carousel. Also the photography backdrop, which is down the carousel. For under $55, $55, you can change the way you look on Zoom calls, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. T stand, one central pole, two poles going out, and photography backdrop, $15, and you can change the way you look. You can wow people on Zoom, okay? Because there are thousands of different backdrops. Okay, let's come back to me. And if you've got the software, of course, you can decide exactly how you're going to look on camera, which is important. Okay. It's got low light compensation, which we mentioned a minute ago, and it's got a 78-degree field of view. Back to the camera again, the Samsung Galaxy S22. We said the Brio had a 90-degree field of view. Just a minute, let me cover the lenses up. We said that that's a 90-degree field of view. Basically, 78 is inside that, so it's not as good as the Brio. Okay, and the current version of the camera, I've had mine 6.5 years, but the one in the carousel was released March 31st, 2020. The camera in the carousel, which is the Logitech C920X, is the ideal first camera, okay, for anybody who's starting out on Zoom or on Facebook or on YouTube. It's an ideal first camera for you, an external camera. There is a heck of a difference between the internal camera on your PC or Mac and having an external camera. It's night and day. You're actually improving the quality of your sound. You're improving how you look on camera because you've got an external camera. And Logitech C920X, Alexa, who are Logitech?
According to Wikipedia, Logitech International SA is a Swiss-American multinational manufacturer of computer peripherals and software, with headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland, and Newark, California.
Alexa, stop.
The company had...
So, Logitech are actually based in Newark, California, and they're world-renowned for quality, the quality of build of their cameras. My webcam has lasted 6.5 years. And it's just the build quality. So if you're looking for a first camera, look no further. Today, with the discount at $59.99, it represents a bargain because you're getting the camera at 1080p, you're getting two external microphones. Yeah. Okay. Said. Right. Sorry about that. Okay. The next item we looked at, and I'm going to go off screen here and come here. right, is oh, I need to take that off, don't I? Just a minute. Right. The camera we also looked at is the Obswap Tiny PTZ camera. This is not the 4K version. This is, I've got two of them. This is the original one, 1080p, and you can have so much fun with an Obswap because this is the PTZ webcam. Everything that I've showed you on the 4K camera works on the PTZ, this one, with the exception of this camera is only 2x zoom and it's only 1080p. Okay, right. The next item in the carousel. Okay, and I can do this. Just give me a second. You've actually been listening to this. Okay, you have been listening to, just let me do this, the Elgato Wave 3, and this is the Elgato Wave 3. Basically, when we're talking about microphones, we think about the quality of the sound, and the quality of sound on the Elgato Wave 3. You've got a rich tone, a rich bass, and I basically broadcast on Facebook as well as Amazon Live, and I got a panel of people together, and I said to them, what I want you to do is I want you to bring your microphones with you, and I want to listen to them. Yeah, this is the Elgato Wave 3. I want to listen to those microphones. Let's just try something. Right, you can see it now. I'm going to put it like that. Okay. Basically, I invited 3 people to join me, and they were Rick Glover from the USA, Krista Boven from Belgium, and Alec Dorling from Sweden. And I said, please bring your microphones and we'll do a comparison. And Alec brought this microphone, which is the Elgato Wave 3, and I was just blown away by the quality of the sound. It is just so, you hear it and you think, that's good. Now, you've been listening to that microphone throughout this broadcast, okay? And you can judge for yourself the quality of it. But I want to make a suggestion here. Let's just put this on screen, because if you just join me, you might not know who I am. So your host is Stephen Healey. We're talking about live broadcasting. We've talked about Logitech Brio. We've talked about the Samsung S22 Mobile Ultra. And I want to say thank you for watching, which I'll do in a minute. And you could ask me any questions you like when I'm live. But you are in the box seat watching me now, because there are over 2,000 Amazon Live broadcasters, and you can watch any of them for free. This is a free service from Amazon Live to help you. I'm here for free. My advice is free. My views are my own. I don't work for Amazon, nor do the rest of the 2,000 plus Amazon Live broadcasters. But my point is this, on microphones, you can watch anybody. And if you follow people, you can set up your own Amazon Live TV channel, because there's a following tab at the top. And that means that you can always click the following tab and find out when somebody's going to be live and their most recent broadcast. So you don't lose people if you follow them. Following is a good thing. I don't do this often enough, so forgive me for a moment. I'm going to go here and I'm going to go here. And if you are enjoying anybody's broadcast, this is not just me. If you're enjoying a live broadcast on Amazon Live, remember this is a free service. We exist because Amazon have qualified us to actually broadcast on Amazon Live, and we're all grateful to be here. And it is probably the best place to broadcast now. And well, you know where I'm going with this, but you can listen to over 2,000 live broadcasters, all of whom have got different microphones. And when you hear a microphone, in the comments, ask which microphone are you using. And the thing is, the magical thing is, that they will tell you which microphone they are using and give you a link to it on Amazon.com. So ask about microphones. Okay, right. So on that note, I'm just going to take that off screen. Just a minute. No, not that one. On that note, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who's watched me live on Amazon Live today. I'd like to say thank you to Corinda for all the comments. When you see me again, and hopefully you will, then please do comment. I can show your comments on screen. I appreciate you spending part of your day with me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. I'm live on Amazon Live, 11 a.m. Eastern, every single day of the week. Take care. Bye for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you. That's a wrap.